Y'all know the deal. Anytime QB1 has something to say, we close our soup coolers, open our ears, and we listen. Let's get into it as Dak Prescott sounds off on George Pickens and his health, as well as a somewhat shocking injury update on Dallas Cowboys star cornerback Trevon Diggs. This is a video full of good news. Let's get right into it, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content just like this. Shut your up. All right. Big credit to the homie John Machota for these clips here featuring Dak Prescott at his free kids pro camp in Southlake today. All right, so the reporters had a chance to speak to Dak, and we're going to listen to what he had to say as it pertains to why it won't take long for he and George Pickens to be on the same page and be ready for the season. This is something that is a fair question because we've seen him struggle with guys like Brandon Cooks and other guys to kind of get on the same page as quickly as we may like. But I suspect this situation may play out a little bit different. Let's go ahead and listen to what Dak had to say.
Not long. As I said, having dealt with trades before, like Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, I mean, don't turn on that guy's tape. He's getting separation. He's got separation. Even when he's not getting the ball at times, and hell, when he doesn't have separation, he's still making the catches. It's not going to be hard. For me, it's about getting that ball near that guy and letting him go be George Pickens.
Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't even pick up on it. That right there is exactly what I want to hear, man. I want to hear more of that from QB1 as it pertains to not only George Pickens, not only YN Shiesty, but also YN Feisty. We need him having the same mentality with a CeeDee Lamb, bro. We don't need the offense to be as choreographed as we've seen it be in years past. Outside of 2023, which was a season in which Dak a lot of the times was having to play off of schedule. Dak a lot of the times was having to break the pocket, was have to break contain, and we have to operate from outside of the pocket and make something happen. That's not in the confines of the offense that you're running, right? I want to hear that this is the mentality that they're going to be rolling with a little bit more often in this offense. He's down there somewhere. F it. Let me get it to him. Because when you have guys like George Pickens, when you have guys like CeeDee Lamb, you do not need these guys to run the most perfect routes. You don't need to be scheming these guys up to where they have to run perfect routes for a play to work. You need to get these guys out in space and allow them to be special. Like they are, both George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I absolutely love hearing that the mentality is, hey, I realize what this guy is. I'm watching the tape. I see what my receiver is, bro. Hopefully my head coach is going to supplement us with an offensive scheme that allows us more room for error, more of a margin for error, because that was the biggest difference. That was the biggest issue with what Mike McCarthy was doing is his offense had no room for error. His offense had no room for creativity. His offense and the way he wanted to run the team as a whole, the way he built the team as a whole, when you're relying on the team to play complementary, perfect football to win a game, that team wasn't built for these guys to sometimes just go out there and be like, hey, man, screw it. We about to just throw this mug up and let's see if you can cover my guy, because I doubt you can. So hopefully we see Dak Prescott, a guy that actually is known now in the NFL by the numbers for being someone that is great at throwing the deep ball. Before he got a George Pickens, before he got a guy that actually dominates outside of the numbers, if you look at where George Pickens really cleans up at, he dominates outside of the numbers. Dak Prescott, he's one of the highest graded passers since 2022 on 20-plus yard passes, guys. He's rated 96.9 according to, you know what I'm saying? But still, he is one of the better deep ball passers in the league, just in general. You add that to a George Pickens, you add that to a guy who has an amazing catch radius, a guy that's able to control his body, has amazing body control, has the ability to rotate and do whatever he needs to do to catch that ball. George Pickens and Dak is going to be a beautiful thing to watch. And I think that that's not going to be a connection that we're going to have to wait a full season to see them kind of start picking up. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we seen George Pickens and Dak come out the gate swinging, especially with as much time as those guys have spent with each other all offseason long, right? So that's the beautiful thing about it. Now, Dak did also briefly address his health.
I'm healthy. I'll be full go for camp. I'm healthy. Yeah, look, I think soon here I'll probably get an official sign off from Doc. But I'm healthy.
All right, so Dak just let us know himself. He is fully healthy. He's going to be a full go from camp. So we can go ahead and leave the hamstring injury in the past. We don't have to talk about it anymore. We're not going to do any more updates. None of that stuff. Dak is healthy. We can stop asking him that question now, guys. Dak is healthy. He's made that very clear. Now, the last thing I wanted to kind of show you guys on today's update was Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs seems to be recovering quite well from that injury issue that he had with that knee. And this is a positive sign for the Cowboys, especially if this is actually indicative of his progress of getting back on the field, right? If Trevon Diggs is able to come out here and take part in basketball. Now, a couple of things to note here. If you take a look, I know the first thing people are going to be like, what is he doing? Why is he hooping on that hard-ass concrete? And he just had knee surgery. You can see right here, this does not look like concrete. This looks like that mesh type of material that you'll see in high-dollar places, that mesh that kind of cushions the force that you're putting on your joints on playing on that type of surface, right? So this isn't concrete. So we can go ahead and say that first. I don't think that he's doing anything that's destructive necessarily, but it's surprising to see him actually hooping. It's surprising to see him out here dribbling around, taking jump shots, and just taking the risk of re-injuring himself or anything like that. But for him to be out here, that lets me know that his recovery is going damn well. That lets me know that Trevon Diggs is at a place where he's starting to resume light athletic activity again. So we're in July right now. Is it possible we actually see Trevon Diggs early October? Is it possible we see Diggs before DeMarvion Overshown? I don't know, man. If he's already starting to pick up light athletic activity, and again, I'm not going to assume that he's being irresponsible or anything like that or throw that on him. So I'm going to say that he and his doctors have said that this kind of stuff is okay. All right, I'm going to say he and his doctors have said this kind of stuff is okay, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But if he's already here, then, hey, maybe we might have one of our guns back earlier or sooner rather than later. But also the other thing to remember here is, Diggs, take your time, because as we have an inkling, one of the moves that the Cowboys could make depends fully on the health of their defensive back room. And if guys are rushing back and they're not fully healthy, and it prevents the Cowboys from making a move and bringing a guy in that actually is healthy that could help those guys that are rushing back actually take more time to make sure that they're right. If those guys are rushing back and they're tricking the Cowboys essentially out of adding a Stephon Gilmore to the DB room, then ultimately that hurts the team if they end up getting re-injured or if they can't be themselves because they're not fully healthy. So I want to see these guys really take the time that's needed to get healthy, especially our guys that play a really huge role, man. Diggs, you already tried to muscle it out for us last season. Bro, please take the time that's needed to get healthy, but also it's very exciting to see that this is where you are in your progress with your injury. So that's also a very damn good sign, and there's always been a little bit of ambiguity around Diggs' injury, and we don't really know exactly what it consists of, how long it's really going to take for him to get back. We haven't really heard a serious timeline. But this looks like, man, hey, I'm interested to see what his level of activity is going to be in training camp now. Just based off this, I'm interested to see what his level of activity is going to be. But, yeah, man, Dak Prescott, George Pickens, man, he down there somewhere. F it, throw up the ball. Offense is going to be in full effect. Trevon Diggs is looking healthier and healthier as each week passes. And it looks like the Cowboys may be more loaded to go and more locked and loaded and ready to go for the season than what some of us fans may have even thought, man. So, good news for the Cowboys. And by the way, Kevontae Turpin, he good too. Jerry already worked his magic. Yeah, that stuff never happened. It never happened. Either way, how about them Cowboys?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.